Go for the pin. Go for the pin wrestling review show. Mikey Q and King V.
Go for the pin.
Have a nice day every day, and
Go for the pin.
Go for the pin.
Weekly wrestling review show. Keep killing it.
We're live, pal. Welcome to Go for the Pin, episode 69. With your host,
because we're 4 years
Q.
old.
Right. With your host, Mikey Q and
King V, aka Ember Moon Knight. And we are here. You don't know who that is, it's fine. But you don't. It's fine. It's okay.
It's all right.
And we are here to talk about wrestling again. And the stupid shit people did again.
Yeah.
But today we do have a very special guest.
Battle Club Pros very own principal owner Joakim Morales is in the building. How you doing, Joe?
I'm great, man. Thank you for having me back.
Oh, thank you for being on. And I just want to say the show that we had you on was a big hit. Everybody loved you. So we do appreciate you coming on here tonight on the 69th episode of Go for the Pin. For those that don't know, Joe's birthday is actually on the 9th of June. So there you go. 6/9.
Yeah.
There you go. Jonathan says, welcome back, guys. Thank you. Yes, Jonathan.
Hey.
What's up? So Joe, we're gonna be mindful of your time tonight. I know that last time we kept you here, but we wanted to pick your brain on a lot of stuff, man. But I do want to ask you because it's funny, right? Or not funny, but it's interesting. It's interesting because the last time we had you on the show, you had talked about the Swole situation before it actually even happened, really, if you think about it. Because I know that you were very vocal about Big Swole and the AEW relationship that she had at the time. Well, it comes out that, Tony Khan had some choice words for her after. And you were very vocal about that as well. So, what's your take on this whole thing? And on a deeper level, do you think AEW is diverse?
So, I'll tackle the second part first.
Okay.
In terms of its roster, there is diversity there.
Yeah.
But the saying is representation matters, and if your roster is diverse, but not enough of that diversity is being showcased consistently and on a major part of the runtime, then what good is it? You can have, if you have 200 employees and 99 are minorities, but that 99% gets 37% of the airtime, how much representation is actually being showcased?
Sure.
That being said, I mean, I've used a ton of their talent. They're, Bowens and Jade and, Swole was there, Thunder Rosa, like Santana, Ortiz. The list goes on and on in terms of minorities, black wrestlers specifically. But how much constant, prominent runtime are they getting? That's the big thing.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's where, in the context of what she was saying, and of course on the grand scheme of things, it's that plus major official positions. Like Cody and the Bucks are pretty much running the company. They're the VPs, Omega, yes, Brandy's part of that there too, but that's because of the marriage.
Right.
It's not because of the work she put in the business. Nothing against her, but it's because of the marriage. It's not because of the work that she put into the business. Whereas opposite is true for the Bucks, Cody, Omega, the whole nine.
Mm-hmm.
And in those positions, they're not people of color. They're not.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally agree with what she was saying. She wasn't being malicious. It was constructive criticism. If you want to branch out and hit those demographics, they have to feel like they connect.
Yeah.
The reason the attitude, everyone goes back to the attitude era and it popped because as kids, it didn't really matter who you were, you connected to that because that's what you wanted to do. You wanted to beat up your teacher just the same way Stone Cold was beating up Vince McMahon. You wanted to crotch chop your enemies the way DX would crotch chop whoever they were feuding with. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
You wanted to stand amongst your brothers and have meaning, the same way the nation did. Like, there was representation that people was able to connect to, and it went beyond the barriers of race and culture and stuff like that. And obviously, as people grow and get more intelligent, then you start to see things for what they are. The narrative now is that the Nation of Domination was a face group and the fans were the heels, and I agree.
It's an interesting, I can see it.
But it doesn't matter how many employees you have that are black or of color if they're not getting those top spots. It just doesn't. It really doesn't. The statistic that that Scorpio Sky put out, his record since being there is phenomenal. Why is he not holding gold? Why is he not holding gold and consistently winning the way he's been? Like, just those things. Great job with Jade. We all knew she was going to be their star.
Yeah.
TBS Championship looks perfect around her waist. She'll probably have a ridiculous run, which, hopefully she continues to put the work in so that her, everything matches because she's a star. You see her, star, amazing, incredible athlete. So everything works, and hopefully she gets the run to match it. But what with, the things that Swole had said, like, over the last year and change, I saw a Facebook post that said 2021 was about black people winning in the WWE. And you just saw how much gold went on Lashley, Hurt Business, Kofi. Like, it was just like, okay, they made it a point for representation to matter there. So I think what she said was, it was genuine, it was from the heart, and it was like, hey, if you want this is what you got to do. It was nothing malicious. Now, everyone says, and it's the truth. I'll never see the money that his dad sees and that his dad lends him and that he's made with that's just the case. Whatever. My time will come. My funds will come with the hard work. And I'm not punching up, but you can't put a show on and publicly criticize people when you don't do what they do. It makes zero sense, because if Vince McMahon went on TV and said, I released all those people because they sucked in the ring, people would eat them alive.
Yeah.
But at least he can sit there and say, I've bumped for 10 to 20 years. I kind of know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I was very adamant. It was big bozo energy on Tony Khan's part to sit there and critique someone when he's been running a wrestling company with very prominent wrestlers who know what they're doing for the last 2 years, talking about a black woman and her feelings in terms of diversity, who has busted her ass to get where she was going and where she's been and where she's going to be going in the future. Like, I'm not going to sit. I don't know the person. Obviously, I have no idea who Tony Khan is. Swole spoke highly of him. I know and trust Swole with all my heart. So if she spoke highly of him, clearly there was something good that she saw in him. It was just an opinion that she gave that I think was totally correct. But to sit there and say something about someone and something that you've never done, that makes no sense. And then what was worse than all of that, because maybe it was just, he didn't think it through and he hit send. Like Herm Edwards said, it's like, oh, you hit send. Once you hit send, you really can't bring it back.
Right.
It's out there. You can't do anything about it. So maybe it was genuinely just a mistake. Maybe he thought, oh, this is an appropriate course of action, and it was a mistake. What was worse than all of that was the hate that came afterwards.
Yeah.
How you're supposed to be fans, and you're sitting there and siding with AEW as if she was maliciously destroying them.
Right.
And there was a ton of comparisons made when Moxley opened up about his feelings about the E, people praised him.
Yeah.
When Swole opened up about AEW, again, nothing malicious, nothing bad, nothing with ill intent. Hey, let's try to make this a point.
Yeah.
Racist comments, threats, guys who, I mean, and again, you gotta toe the line to be politically correct with everything. So I'm not gonna attack anyone personally.
Yeah.
But you know, there's people who have never had an athletic day in their life talking about someone's wrestling ability.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know that there were people who have no idea what it takes to draw a dime talking about a person's ability to wrestle. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's where you jump the line from fan to fanatic, and that's not okay. And everyone's entitled to their opinion. And the saying is, an opinion is like an asshole. Everyone's got one.
Yeah.
Here's the difference. Someone walks around without wiping their ass, they're gonna be funky.
Mm-hmm.
You can have your opinion, but your opinion can be funky as fuck.
Yeah.
You just sit there and talk like, what are we talking about? We are in 2022, and the fact that this shit is still coming up, even when it was approached the appropriate way, doesn't make any sense to me. And I won't even lie. I got into it with some of the fans. Oh, she can't work. She can't work. My man, you're a toy collector with 37 followers. How are you gonna talk about somebody working?
Yeah. Yeah. It's always the people that never took a bump in their life that has something to say about every wrestler.
Like, oh, that Shindy put their title on her. Haha, 50 people on a good night. Really? Are you kidding me? Because you don't, again, and it's the same thing. Like, if you don't actually watch what's going on, you can't make a comment.
Right.
Yeah.
And I genuinely don't think, because he's got so much going on, I really don't think he actually saw her work. I don't think he did. There's a difference from producing wrestling content on TV and actually watching a match.
Yeah. And
Joe, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and Joe, the one thing that I do want to bring up since you brought that up is Tony initially said that she was such a great wrestler, and
it was a huge deal when he signed her.
Right, exactly.
He had that 5-minute doc about her. She wore the Jobbertier shirt. I know we all fucking love that. It was a big deal when she was signed.
His feelings were hurt.
You don't make a big deal if you don't think someone's good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to see all these things, right? And I genuinely I can understand watching the product as a TV product.
Yeah. And
watching the product as a wrestling fan that understands what's going on. Or if you know the business and you say this XYZ person was trained by George South, it's like, oh yeah, no, they're good. It's it. There's no question about it. Like, oh, this person was trained. They're good. Look at the Savannah Evans on TV.
Love
Swole
Savannah.
on TV. Nicole Savoy, MLW. Like the people that she's been encompassed with, that whole, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Good. Just good talent. The talent from that area. It's like, I've said it before in other places, like the South, when it comes to wrestling, are like Caribbean islands for baseball. When they come from Puerto Rico or DR, they're going to be top-notch baseball players because they come from that area. When you come from the South, you're going to be a good wrestler, regardless of your race, gender, identity, sexual preference. There's just something in the water. Maybe it's the molasses. I don't know. But there's something down there that makes these people seasoned when it comes to wrestling.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you go to New York, you're going to get good pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You go to New Orleans, you're going to get banging Cajun food. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You go to Florida, you're going to see some weird shit.
Wow. Yeah. I'm not touching that.
Be fucking workers.
I'm not touching that. Yeah. No, you're right, Joe. You're right.
You're absolutely right.
And it's just it was sad to see how quickly Tony kind of just just kind of turned on Swole. And V brought up something important. He said his feelings was hurt. And that's really what it comes down to. His feelings was hurt.
I mean, and I also think it's on brand, but that's another story for another day.
Thanks.
Sorry.
So I was having a conversation with someone, and he wants to always look like the good guy, and it's tough to always look like the good guy because eventually someone's not going to fit your narrative, or you're not going to fit someone's narrative, and like you said, your feelings got hurt. Like, hey, you were great to me, but I think I've met a point in my life where I need to exit. This is my exit on the highway. This is where I need to get off to be better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The thing is that you don't really see that at the top level. What you see that at like the Impact level, the ROH level, they get off their exit to go one step up.
Yeah.
Very rarely, when you consider yourself at the top, do people get off and go, back down. But we've been seeing that from people in the E forever, and it's just kind of become commonplace now. And this is kind of the first, time we've seen it in AEW, and like that's a perfect way to look at it. His feelings were hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you think about other wrestlers that have left the company, specifically WWE, white men at that talk cash shit about WWE, and it was like Punk, for example. Yes, go Punk. I mean, even though I agreed with him, he was very right for how he felt, and you see that with other white male wrestlers. But as soon as Swole said something that's not even bad, it's just constructive, it's a problem. It's the same thing. When Keith Lee was released, all of a sudden he had attitude issues. Even with Leo Rush, who I'm gonna leave that alone. Even with Leo Rush, who folded like a New York slice.
He got bills, B. He got bills.
Remember what I said the other week?
I know, I remember.
But I'm just saying, you having this issue with WWE, and you wasn't, carrying somebody's bag because you've already paid your dues. Like, the fuck do I look like carrying your bags? Who the fuck are you? You got arms, you able-bodied. What the fuck you talk about? Then he had attitude issues. And even with, thank you, go ahead and put that comment up that Jonathan put, even with Mustafa Ali, who requested his release recently, and Vince McMahon decided not to, or WWE in general decided not to grant it. It's just like, I'm not doing anything. You're not using me. I feel like I would be better elsewhere. So let me go. Let me go. Let me do what I need to do.
Was he granted his release? I know he asked
he
for
was
it.
Not.
No, they denied it.
They denied it. Wow. So it's just like you see where this is. It's like as soon as somebody that doesn't look like everyone else or the general population of wrestling fans, every time they speak out and it's not even malicious, there's an issue. And I've always said that I'm a part of the most toxic fandom of all fucking time. Now, granted, I'm also a Harry Potter fan as well as a Marvel Comics fan.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna touch that. But so it's just like it gets annoying. And I've already did my diatribe. I'm not doing it again. But it's like when it comes to Black people, and I don't want to say people of color because there's a lot of anti-Black. Like it's a lot of anti-Black people of color. But when it comes specifically to Black people, where we speak out or we stand up for ourselves in a big company, it's always an issue. But CM Punk can do it. All these other right wrestlers can do it. And everyone's like, yeah, go you, go Mox, go Mox, who I'm so glad is back and healthy, but we'll get there when we talk about AEW. Yeah. But it's like we see it in real time, how some of you think. And it's just irritating that time and time again, as a Black wrestling fan, to see this happen time and time again. Every time a Black person stands up for themselves in the business, it's an issue. It's annoying at this point because it's just like, well, shit. You want us to be the company guy. Not all of us could be a sellout. Not all of us are going to be a sellout. And, not all of us are going to be the company guy or the good guy. And it's just like, really?
Yeah.
It still pisses me off how Swole was done.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
it still does. I'm not gonna sit here and say it bothers me because not only did you attack her wrestling ability, and you start talking about her child. I think that was really what killed
that was
killed it. Like, how do you gonna bring up somebody's child? Like, really?
I'm
tired.
It's more than that, and you know, I don't know what your fan base is predominantly, and I might get bashed for this, but it is conditioning over years. It is indoctrination over years.
Mm-hmm.
You're the wrong shade, you can't speak out. You're the wrong gender, you can't speak out. Swole's on the wrong side of both of those things. A black woman.
Yep.
Like, they would just prefer to silence her. And it's just like, that is not right. That's just not right. And it's fucked up. And I mean, it's frustrating. It's so frustrating to see, because I've seen it. You feel helpless. Like, well, the person I cheer for is trying to be a company guy, and you fuck him over. Well, then another person I'm cheering for rebels, and you fuck him over. It's like, you never feel like you win. And it sucks, because there's so much fucking money to be made. There's so much love to be giving. I think I said this on the last time. Like, I constantly listen to ESPN radio. I'm an auditory person. Hearing things, it sticks in my mind. It takes effort to be a dick.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, just being, hi, how you doing? Just being kind, just in human nature, it's much easier to just be nice. So to go out your way to say things like that, to go out your way to give your energy and feed that vibe into the world, it's tiring. And then you wonder why you're always cranky, because that's what you're pumping out.
Yeah, it's true.
But it was so disheartening. Like, how are you going to attack this person's family for having an opinion? For having an opinion. If I went on a tirade and looked your fucking history up and it's like, oh, you didn't lose your virginity, so you were 32 and it was to a prostitute, I'd be a terrible person, because I went off something that was supposed to be about entertainment, and I got personal. But just because you're a fan doesn't mean you can do that. That's not how it goes. And I agree. Like, and this is going to sound crazy, because I'm a promoter, and my whole business revolves around fans coming out to shows. But wrestling can absolutely be the most toxic for one reason and one reason only. There's no off season. You can go to a wrestling show down there 5 times a week, 5 different companies, 5 different places. They run all over the world.
Yeah.
It never stops. So if you're constantly pumping out negative and you're hitting 5 shows a week, you're hitting hundreds of shows a year, that just keeps going and going and going. And my whole purpose in the business is to change it so that positive comes out, so that you can appreciate people that aren't getting those eyes. Oh my God, her name is escaping me, but she just decided she was going to start a new podcast. You guys had tagged me and tagged us in it.
Okay. I know who you're talking about.
Yes.
I'm looking up her name.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like,
I wanted to promote her.
Yeah. And I love it. I love it. I love the fact. Yes. Yes. So I love it, and I love the direction she wants to go into. And it's immediately I was like, hey, here are people who don't get eyes on them or don't get the recognition they deserve. That should be where it is more. That should definitely be where it is more, because that's where the representation starts. And that's life. Everything is slow climbs. Take that first step, lay that first brick, and build and build and build and build until what happened in 2021 with WWE and black wrestlers and wrestlers of color is more part of the norm. It's not a special thing because it's so constant, because that's just the way it should be. It should be fair.
Right. And I agree. And it is tough. Like, and it's the last thing I'll say on this. And Joe will I know you have things you got to take care of. But yeah, it's tough also because, and I mentioned this actually last week. It's tough being a black wrestling fan. Like it really is, because it's like man, every other day I feel like, especially, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen to other people, but I'm saying specifically like black wrestling fans, like not just the wrestlers, but the fans of the wrestlers are constantly attacked online just for being a fan of the person. So it's like it really is tough. I try to limit like my social media intake just because I would go crazy if I was online all day long.
Just done?
Hearing every story. if you got to run, it's all good.
No, we can finish this up. But yeah, I agree. I agree because again, it's disheartening because you feel like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
And that's exactly the position I feel like I'm in. Sometimes.
Right. You feel helpless because you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. And I really hope that you always got to try to look at the positive. I really hope that through this entire negative situation, the emphasis goes back to the original point where there should be more diversity and representation.
I agree. Joe, I'm sure we'll have you on some other time.
Yeah,
but
we'll do it again.
Thank you for coming on. We appreciate
I'll get those coaches on for you, and I appreciate you guys so much. I love what you guys are doing. Keep it up, all right?
Thank you, Joe.
You guys be safe.
All right.
All right. Joakim Morales, everybody. Yeah, Joe always such a great guest. Like, and you know, we he kind of gave a little something away there on air, but you know what I'm saying just now. But you know what? You guys just stay tuned. All right, we might have some things coming up. There are some comments that I wanted to actually read, but Joe was going, so I didn't want to interrupt him. But Jonathan has said Swole was basically being overlooked because of the star power of Jade and Thunder Rosa, in his opinion. How do you feel about that, V? Oh, you're thinking. I know if you heard me or not, but yeah, all right.
No, I was thinking. Star power. See, that's the thing. Big Swole never really got that full-on chance to show the kind of star power that she possesses, like on TV. I mean, yes, that match with Diamante, but that was really it.
Yeah.
So
the match with
I don't know. It was. I might have to disagree with that because if they let people do what they can to try to get over at least, then we can say that yes, Thunder Rosa she was huge. She's huge.
Yeah.
Jade automatically looks like a star. She's bigger. She has that presence, and people forget how much charisma Big Swole has.
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay. And I agree. I don't think she was necessarily overlooked. I agree with you, V. I don't think she was overlooked. I just don't. It's more so she didn't actually get the opportunity to show what she can do, really. But I don't think she was overlooked. So I wouldn't say that. And as far as his other question other comment that I starred here was Big Swole has intangibles and an ability that is better than possibly 40% of their women's roster. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we got to cover some things. And yes, Dice, that's my boy Dice, 32. He also said some other things. He being Jonathan, pronouns pal. Ali versus Dante, Ali versus Darby, Ali versus anyone. 4 to 5 star matches are guaranteed. I agree. Ali is crazy talented, and if he does get to leave, because sometimes WWE doesn't grant it right away, so
they're gonna keep him in the back.
And guess what? You know what they're probably gonna do? They'll release him when they're ready to release him. Oh yeah, okay, you wanted your release? No, we're not gonna just grant you your release. We're gonna keep you here for a few weeks or months and then fire you because we can do that. And now you got a 90-day non-complete, so you can't go over to AEW. It's bitterness. I know. And pettiness. Shall we get into some of?
You're too damn old to be petty. You have more years behind you than you do ahead of you.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. What I could have been you're gonna die soon. I could have said that. I mean, I just did, but
most people think Vince is gonna live to 200. But
Jesus! Then again, evil lives forever. Copyright and Nazi names, but we'll get there.
I mean, Vince beat God in a match one time, so let's hey guys, I don't write this, okay? He beat him back in 06, okay? According to Vince.
God.
Yes, this is some of the crazy shit that they've done in WWE before. Like, yes, Vince beats God.
My nigga.
All right. We're not doing this tonight. All right, so let me get up some of the results here.
Yes,
we actually didn't talk about what we're gonna start with. V, do you have a preference as to what we're starting with here?
Let's start with Raw, I guess.
Let's go with Raw. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, all right. Raw was all right. So it started with Becky. Becky cut a promo, which led to Liv, Bianca, and Piper coming out there, which led to a tag team match. Liv does the job again in about like 5 minutes. Like it was quick. I don't remember.
And then begun the show. Yeah.
Yeah, at the beginning of the show, she does another job. Okay. And Piper lays out Becky, and that was the segment. And Bianca's in the Royal Rumble, as if we didn't know that.
I mean, so is Liv. It was like we kind of
in Liv, as if we didn't know that either. So what do you think? Well, wait a minute. Is this the first Royal Rumble for Bianca? No, she won the Royal Rumble last year.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, did you forget?
All right, look, it's been a long day.
It's been a whirlwind year of wrestling. So sure.
Yeah, she definitely won last year. Does she win this year? Don't answer that question. We'll answer that next week. Didn't care about the opening segment, I guess.
I was more or less like, okay. That's all I got. Yeah. I was like, okay. It wasn't giving anything. It was just like, all right, you could have made this match a little bit longer. Like, it made no sense that it was so fast.
Now, don't get me wrong. I am all for shorter matches on TV. I do not want 20-minute matches every single time.
I'm not saying that, it got to be a 20-minute match, but, somebody pointed this out on Twitter. The men get like 45 minutes to open the show.
And that's ridiculous also.
And then the women get like 7 minutes total plus entrances. So it's like, I get it. It's like, are we going back to the Diva era? But okay.
Yeah, I don't really have much for the opening segment. Like I said, I don't mind the shorter matches, but Liv does another job. Okay, sure. Like, and it's sad. I will say this, right? I think what really is going to hurt Liv is what I've mentioned on this show before, and it's her promo cutting ability. I mean, but the only way to get better is to have her do more. Like, it's really like this, like, catch-22 type of situation. Like, she's not good, she's not good yet at doing promos. I only mean with promos. She's not good yet at doing promos, but so they're not going to put her on TV that much to do them anymore. But the only way for her to get better is for her to do it. So it's a really like double-edged sword, I guess. But
I think my whole thing is that you can tell the difference between her own promos that they let her be free with, and then the promos that are written for her.
Right.
And the promos basically that she does, like, that's on her own are, they're not fantastic, but they're better than the ones that are written for her because it makes her sound like a robot. And Liv Morgan is not a robot. She's not. She's not. It annoys me that, it seems like she's trying to remember lines. I'm like, just let her go. Just let her go. And I think you'll get a better promo out of her. You put her in the ring with people that may be better on the mic than her, then, she can feed off their energy and make it work. But if you're writing if you're micromanaging her promos, it's not going to come up as genuine.
I think the problem is they don't trust her to do live promos. Like, and it's not just her. It's half that roster that don't get a chance to really do live promos because, or not live, but like live promos that's not written for them is what I mean. And I think that hurts a lot of the talent because a lot of the people that got over when they were cutting promos were the ones that were able to improvise and feed off of the crowd. That's why a lot of people get flustered when the audience isn't reacting the way that they want them to, because they're trying to remember this written promo. And I remember at one point, now that we're mentioning that, Alexa Bliss, who we know is great at talking. She can speak very well. It wasn't always the case. There was a situation at SmackDown where they were wutting her. And I think this was like maybe 2016. And she legitimately stopped her promo and on a shoot and was like, I swear to God, if you guys say what one more time, like, and of course that made them do it more. And from what I'm hearing, she got talking to backstage about that. It's like, you know, even though it's so hypocritical because the boss has used God before, you know, but it was like, you can't swear to God on television. You can't do that. Like, you know, like, and she got talking. She was like, I understand. They was like, I understand that the fans were frustrating you and you got mad, but you can't let yourself get mad. I'm sure that happens a lot, you know, where the talent gets so frustrated because the fans are reacting a certain way or they just can't remember the line.
I mean, wrestling fans are also awful. You know,
but yeah, no, they're horrible.
Yeah,
but yeah. All right, let's just keep going here. So that happened. Becky and Piper did win the match, and the finish just looked terrible. I think Piper forgot she wasn't legal, and then had to go out. It was bad. It was bad. I'm not gonna.
It was rough. It was rough.
It was bad. There's no way. It was bad.
Like, it was bad.
So after we get some stuff with Edge and Reggie backstage, okay. We get Kevin Owens backstage. A lot of backstage segments. I'm not trying to run. I'm not going through the whole show.
No.
Okay, Kevin Owens does beat Priest with a stunner. I'm an Owens fan, so I like Priest also, but I'm an Owens fan, and I'm glad that he got a win. For the Academy, Alpha Academy, that is. There was an in-ring segment where Otis was graduating, and Riddle interrupts this. Of course, I could smell this a mile away. The two heels were distracted by. Woo! All right, B. Go to a wrestling event, you'll see exactly what I'm smelling. But anyway,
crystal meth.
I'm not doing this with you. Randy Orton comes from behind after Riddle distracted Alpha Academy, hits the RKO, and apparently next week we're going to have some type of Alpha academic tests or something like that. The funniest part about this was Otis's expression when they said we're gonna have an academic contest, and Otis was just looking like,
okay,
you know,
so yeah, that was funny. Like, oh, reading, whoa.
Yeah.
What's this?
Yeah. So,
what do you mean? Like,
yeah, I thought that was funny. So, all right, Vince McMahon is doing his things with Austin, but not that Austin Theory.
The creep.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
We get another Finn Balor. I don't care.
No, we can skip that.
Rhea Ripley versus Nikki Ash, but it never happened because Rhea was attacked before the match started. After the women's tag team champions, we still have tag team champions, people. The women's tag team champions, Queen Zelina, and Carmella come out there and they cut their promo, and Rhea's distracted. Nikki gets the upper hand, and we never get a match. Can we just get this over with on a throwaway Raw? Like, just get this over with. Nikki versus Rhea, get it over with. Have Rhea go over, and can we move on?
Yeah,
please.
That's how I feel. That is exactly how I feel.
Okay, all right. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. Omos and Reggie. Omos squashes Reggie. Don't care. Okay.
Yeah.
We get a video package for The Miz, Maurice, and Beth Phoenix and Edge, and we get a in-ring segment. Basically, Maurice is trying to back out of this match. She said mother to mother. Like Maurice is really good, and I'm gonna give her a lot of credit for that. She had the crowd in the palm of her hand on that, like, you know, and
she really did.
Just doing the whole Miz thing with the when my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut up, and the whole thing with the I have a microphone, so that means I could be louder than each and every one of you. That's a classic Miz line, and I love that. Like that was awesome. Even when she started, really.
Yeah, that is
really. Like Maurice is really good. So I give Maurice credit for this. Beth comes out there and like, I don't care if we're both mothers. I'm gonna gland slam you through the ring, and that's gonna be that. And Beth starts walking to the ring. Edge is out there with her. Miz tries to attack from behind, but Edge gets the upper hand on Miz. But as Edge gets the upper hand on Miz, Maurice with a loaded pocketbook.
We know a lot of people with loaded pocketbooks.
Oh yeah, yeah. Loaded, really old school. Loaded pocketbook right to the back of Beth. Lays her out. Edge is in shock. And we find out that the pocketbook, was it a pocketbook? It was more like a clutch, right? I think that's more like what it is. But
it's not my forte. I don't know. It might have been a clutch.
It might have been a clutch. I think it was a clutch.
You know, so for those who are handbag experts, go ahead and correct this. I don't know.
I think it was a clutch. So, well, whatever type of accessory that Miz had with her, Maurice had with her, she pulled out a brick. Okay, real old school.
Not a quarter brick, half brick. There's a whole brick.
Quarter brick.
Yeah, that was the classic.
Woo,
I had to. Sorry, it was right there.
Yeah, it was. It was. Is that the same brick that they have in Connecticut? So anyway.
No, that brick is white, and they cut it up and
right. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Different brick.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
That is a cute. Anyway.
Okay. I thought this segment was good. I thought this was a good build up towards the Royal
Best segment on Raw.
Yeah. Yeah. Street Profits versus the Dirty Dogs. And Apollo and Commander Aziz. Oh, the Mysterios was teaming with the Street Profits as well. Forgot all about that. Street Profits get the win, and then they tease everybody throwing each other over. Like I think Ray threw over Dominic, and Tez got thrown over.
No, they both Ray and Dominic threw over the Street Profits, and then Ray threw over.
Now, like, this is fine, but none of them are winning the Royal Rumble. Like, spoiler alert, like, none of them are winning the Royal Rumble. And yes, I know Ray is on the video game cover. I get it. But, like, no, none of them is winning the Royal. So why are we doing this tease with whatever? I guess it was a fun moment.
I don't know. Once again, Montez Ford has the best frog splash in the business.
Oh, my God.
I'm gonna say this every time I see it. It's like the height, the definition of it. It's like I'll never forget when he just like did it and like spun in midair. Like what?
Yeah.
Nobody can do a frog splash like Montez Ford right now.
I agree.
So, yeah.
Okay. We get and you said that segment was the best part of Raw. It was good, but I think one of the best parts of Raw was this video package of Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. I thought it was really well done.
I must have missed that. Was it?
It was after the Street Profits match. It was literally right after that. And it was like an in-depth video package highlighting both of the careers of Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley.
Oh, wait, you're right. I'm sorry. I did see it.
It was very good. Like, really I mean, it was very well. Like, that is, you got to give WWE credit for these type of things. That is one of the things that WWE always does really well, are these video packages and these vignettes and everything. I thought it was well done, and I'm actually really looking forward to the Rumble because there's some really interesting matches, but we'll talk more about that next week.
And Veer's still coming.
Veer's been coming for a long time. for a long time, and he just won't stop coming. I don't know. Oh man. V has left the studio, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Ooh, okay.
He stopped coming for a week. He did. He stopped coming for a week. He didn't come for like 2 weeks. And now he's coming again.
Please.
He might want to get that checked out. All right.
Maybe not.
Yeah. Right. All right.
All right.
So V, what do you think? Switch the transition here. What do you think about Alexa's her segments that's happening with the doctor here? Right after we got a vignette that said Veer's coming.
I'm gonna fight through that. Well, first, condolences to Alexa and her family, as well as Sasha and her family as well. I believe she lost her grandmother.
Oh, yeah, my condolences. So, I didn't know about that.
How I feel about the vignettes, I don't know where they're gonna go with this. Is this gonna lead to the goddess Alexa Bliss coming back? Is this the end of the? Is this the end of the Hot Topic Alexa Bliss? The very Spencer's Alexa Bliss, the craft. I hope so. Yeah. I'm gonna let that one play out because usually, it'll play out. But I don't know. I don't know. I can't say. I hope we get the goddess back because I personally, me, prefer that Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
Not to say that I didn't hate the. It was kind of creepy, but it's not like I didn't hate the creepy Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
It was just that she was matched up with the Fiend, and the Fiend is not here.
Right.
So they switched from the Fiend to a doll, and that was cool. It was okay. Like, I don't have a problem with supernatural gimmicks.
It was a stupid doll.
Yes, but
Charlotte was right when she said that. I'm sorry. Charlotte said it was a stupid doll, and she destroyed it. I was clapping. I was like, "Yes, destroy that stupid doll."
It was just for me. It was just like it ran its course.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it ran its course.
I'm gonna say this. I don't care about these segments with Alexa Bliss right now. I really don't. I mean, they're not really doing anything for me. Like, I might got a chuckle here and there, but I don't care. She hasn't worked since September, and now we're doing these therapist segments, and she still has the Bray Wyatt thing going. It's like, I don't care. Like, I don't care. At this point, I want the old Alexa Bliss back at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm over it. Because, like you said, Bray Wyatt doesn't work there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we doing? But that's just my opinion.
Even if they did it where it's like she can switch back and forth.
Yeah.
And if they would have been doing her switching back and forth like how they did the Bray Wyatt and the Fiend, I would be okay with that. But for the fact that she was perpetually creepy for a long time, and I'm just like, okay, we can, we got the teases back where she would like her old music would hit, and then if they did something like that and they did it right, but then again, cocaine.
It's a hell of a drug.
It's a hell of a drug that I don't do, but
nor do I.
It's just that the writers are not good at what they do, and a lot of the people that are booking the shows are too old to do what they do because they are living in the past and being very immature with certain things. And we'll get to NXT later, and trying to be shocking for the sake of shocking. Yeah, we'll get to NXT later, and it's not working anymore. And now that Alexa's back, or for the most part, she may be gone for a little bit longer, depending if they let her bereavement and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if they extend this for too long, the people already turned on it.
Yeah.
It's just like it's gotten stale.
I'm people,
and I love Alexa Bliss.
I do too.
I love Alexa Bliss, and she's been able to turn shit into manure.
Yeah,
but it's just like, okay, now at this point, I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Okay. The main event was Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley. Fine main event. The problem is that it ended in a DQ, and that makes sense. But it's like, why even book the match?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, it was fine. I don't have a problem with it. They're both going for world titles at the Royal Rumble, so it does make sense. But Cedric and Shelton got involved. Lashley fought back, put Shelton through the barricade, and knocked off Cedric's head, and the Usos
all up.
Yeah. The Usos jumped the barricade and attacked Seth Rollins, got their get back from SmackDown. And that was Raw. Why weren't the Usos arrested? I don't know. Get back to me. Well, the Usos have been arrested, but that's neither here nor there. But anyway, that was Raw. What did you think about Raw tonight, V? Oh, tonight. What did you think about Raw from Monday night?
All right. Yeah. So it wasn't me this time. What I think about Raw?
Rock down.
Ooh, baby, I don't like Raw. It was a 1 count for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. 1 count from KV. No, I almost hit the 3 count button. That
right. I would never.
1 count. Yeah, I keep that up there. Raw wasn't good. I know they was going against football and all that other stuff, but just Raw felt so filler. It wasn't even funny. Like, if you missed Raw, you really didn't miss anything. Except I would say go.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, just if you guys missed it, go back and watch the Miz segment. Maybe the Bobby Lashley stuff, and that's about it. Like,
I mean, I sat and watched Raw until it was time for the Moon Knight trailer, but that's for another show.
Moonlight. Okay.
Moon Knight.
Moonlight.
Moonlight was a movie, yes. Moon Knight is a TV show. Jesus. All right, let's moving.
Want to keep going? Let's go to NXT. You could go. You could start off. You could start NXT first. Like,
oh Jesus. Okay. So I don't even want to sit and let's talk about NXT for the whole time. It's just a couple of things that I want to talk about. There was a match between Dexter Haywords, I know them. Dexter Lumis and Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller gets the win, actually. From an interference from whoever that is. I don't know, but
we'll find out eventually.
They're really trying to make Grayson Waller into a thing, and I'm just like, okay.
Well, it started off with LA Knight, but yeah.
I mean, I was just skipping. Skipping around. I mean, the whole LA Knight thing. It's cool.
Yeah.
Just put him on. Just take him to the main roster at this point. Then there was a Dusty Rhodes Classic tag team match: the Creed Brothers versus Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen.
Didn't care.
Yeah. So glad you said that.
Who got the win? I don't even remember.
The Creed Brothers.
The Creeds. Okay. I do like the Creed Brothers.
I do like them, yeah.
But I didn't care about
them. We'll get to Walter later. Then there was Dante Shen. Please forgive me. I believe it's Chen or Shen. I'm sorry. Versus Guru Raj. It was actually a pretty good match. I didn't have a problem with that. There was a segment with Tony D'Angelo having a memorial service for Pete Dunne, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
He's next up. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say that. There is
Jonathan said, "Thank God for Grayson Waller. He gets it." Okay.
Sure.
Okay. I mean, he's a good heel. I'm not gonna bury a kid. He's a good heel.
There was also a tag team pack, a video tag team package, a video package with Valentino Foros and Yolisa Leon.
Whoa.
And
whoa. A video package for who? Say that again.
Ooh, viva la Panama. So Valentino Foros,
okay,
and Yolisa Leon.
Wow. Okay.
They've been tagging on 205 live. They're both Latina. I believe one is Mexican and the other, I believe, is Brazilian. I could be wrong. Please forgive me if I'm wrong. I mean, it does. Oh. But they talk about how they're next for the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. I like them together.
Yeah.
They have a good look. I love it. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do next. But of course, Dakota Kai did come afterwards and, try to sprinkle some negativity and chaos into them being a tag team.
Loved it.
Next, it was Kaylee Ray versus Ivy Nile.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say, because Ivy Nile won due to interference, of course, because of toxic attraction.
Yeah.
And that was a pretty good match. I think Ivy Nile has a bright, very, very future.
She's good.
She's really good. She's really, really good.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is funny. Then we have another Dusty Tag Team first round match. Legado del Fantasma versus Malik Blade and Idris Enofe. Got that. Malik Blade and Idris got the win.
Yeah.
That was a bracket buster. It wasn't something I expected. I think that if they continue with them as a tag team, and it seems like it's working, even though they should stop calling them BBC, but I'll leave that alone. And anyway, but I think beef up the tag team division. They need it. Why not? Next, speaking of Dakota Kai, it was Dakota Kai versus I had it before. Hi, word. Yolisa Leon. Of course, Dakota Kai wins. Of course, there is Dakota Kai tried to beat everybody up. Then there was a video package, and I want to talk about this video package really quick.
Okay.
Because I expressed a little bit of feelings on the Twitter. Sarai. Yeah. This apparently there's a repackaging of Sarai. There was this sun pendant. I believe it was a sun. Please forgive me if I'm wrong. There was a sun pendant, and she talked about her grandmother. And, the promo was fine. It was for me, and I did have an issue with this, because it personally made me feel uncomfortable. And people like, oh, you're nitpicking. Da, da, da. Okay, so we know who runs NXT now. Yeah, Creeps, and it's her gimmick. It looks like it. I've talked with someone on Twitter, and they said it's giving stereotype. And I have to hard agree, because it's giving it to me. To me, I'm not speaking for Mike. It's giving Asian anime fetish to me, because yes, I know that Sarai is a grown adult. Yeah, but it was how she was dressed. And then the pigtails, and it looks childlike. And it made me uncomfortable, because now I know who runs NXT, and then it's just like it could very well be a Sailor Moon gimmick. And then again, for those who know Sailor Moon, she was a teenager. Yeah. So it's just like, yes, I know this is a grown woman. But the way that she's being repackaged, yes, makes me uncomfortable, because it's like, one, this is borderline. You're borderlining some racial shit That's number one. And number two, you're making me look like a child.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's my issue. Besides the whole stereotype situation, it's like you kind of making her look like a child, and this makes me uncomfortable. Of course, wrestling is like, y'all are too sensitive. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, a lot of you are white, so you don't get it. But it's just like it's a fetishization thing that I'm personally getting from it. Now, I could be wrong. But from that very first promo, it's giving hentai.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think if we're talking about the people that's running NXT, it's like Bruce Pritchard and people like that. I don't think Bruce has ever watched Sailor Moon or anything like that in his life. To be honest with you, so I don't know. I mean, but maybe because I don't, or I'm not familiar, I guess you could say, with that culture. I wasn't really like offended by it. Like I didn't, I'm like, all right, they're repackaging Sarai, and I just kind of
I personally,
wrote it off.
I'm not Asian, so I can't be offended. I'm just showing.
But I'm just saying, like with the anime stuff, like I'm not familiar with anime stuff. Like I'm not into anime, so I don't know if that's where it stems from. I wouldn't have.
And that's what it looks like. It's maybe because I've watched anime shows and and ironically enough, Sailor Moon is one of my favorites. So it's just like, okay, you're having this Asian character, this grown adult, look like a child, like a teenage girl.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of the water. Something in the water is not clean. Of course, I could be overreacting. I could be, but the way that it looks right now on paper, it's personally making me uncomfortable because it's just like she looks childlike.
Yeah,
and it's like the whatever outfit it is the pigtails really that's making it more childish to me because for the most part, little girls, regardless of race, will have pigtails when they're young. Yeah, you think, and that's making me think now. Baby Spice. It just the whole premise makes me uncomfortable now too. Yeah. She's an adult portrayed as not portrayed, but she's the baby and she has pigtails and the lollipop. You see where I'm going with this?
I see it.
It just makes me uncomfortable personally because I was like, I don't know where this is going. Yeah. Of course, this could be something completely different and it could work, but it's personally I was like, I don't know.
Right.
But we can see how this goes. But with the people involved, I don't trust it.
Yeah. Hey, Ray, what's going on? Long time no see, my brother. How's everything? We pretty much covered that. You want to keep going here with NXT?
Yes, and I'm just gonna go ahead and get to this, which leads me into my next thing. So there was Roderick Strong versus Walter. That's what I'm calling him. Walter.
Mm-hmm.
Walter. So there was that match was so good.
I have to watch. That's actually the only match I didn't see.
Let's go ahead and just start there. If you have not seen Walter versus Roderick Strong, that match was fantastic.
I'm gonna watch it.
Of course, Walter comes out on top. Of course.
Is Roderick done?
I don't know.
Okay.
I can't say.
Okay.
Now, of course, at the end, you try to say the winner is Walter, blah, blah, blah. And he takes the match and said the winner is Gunther.
He takes the mic, said the match.
Huh?
You said takes the match. You mean takes the mic.
Mike. Yes, I'm sorry. My bad. Takes the mic.
Yeah, I was like,
the winner is Gunther. Now, let's go ahead and start here.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple of days ago, it was announced that WWE.
Ray just said
it. Oh yeah, we're getting there. I'm right there, Ray.
Yeah.
So WWE created a trademark.
Yeah.
For the name Gunther Stark. So anyone with internet access,
Gunter.
I'm not doing that. Anybody with internet connection can do a quick Google search.
Yeah.
And figure out who Gunther Stark was. So if you are not familiar, go ahead, Mike. Yeah. No, matter of fact, we're gonna do this in real time. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead and Google Gunther Stark and click on the first thing you see and see what kind of person he was. And if you need help, I got you.
Got you. Hold on.
Mm-hmm. For those who are watching or listening to the audio version of it, Mike is Googling who Gunther Stark was.
Berlin, Germany.
Mm-hmm. It's worse.
Hold on. Everything that's coming up is like WWE, but
yummy.
Yeah, they must have watched this here. All right, hold on. I gotta go down a little bit here. Gunther Starks or Gunther Stark without the S? Gunther Stark. WWE actually has abandoned the Gunther Stark name.
Yes, they did. I was getting there. I was getting there. Why they should have
came up here?
Never.
I'm seeing all WWE stuff. You might have to just tell me here.
So I'll go ahead and tell you. So Gunther Stark, he was a U-boat commander in World War II.
Oh, Nazi is. Oh, I just said it right here. Yeah. Oh,
so basically, Gunther Stark was a Nazi.
Was a Nazi.
Wow. I mean, considering who runs WWE and who they donate to, I'm not shocked. At the same time, you mean to tell me that nobody in that office before a bump, and not a back bump, a nose bump, before you bump B2K, bump that line of code.
Oh, that was the bump that he was doing. Okay. I'm listening.
You couldn't Google this. Like, we want to make sure that this name is one, not already being used.
Yeah.
Or two, has some type of historical context.
Yeah.
Here we go. Like, I literally Googled. I was like, when I saw the name, I was like, this seems weird to me, and I just couldn't put my finger on it. And as someone who loves history, I did my Googles, which some of you should do. And the first thing I saw was U-boat. And I was like, U-boat? Meaning that he was a Nazi. Oh. So nobody thought this through. Now, granted, yes, they did abandon.
Yeah, they got rid of that.
They abandoned the trademark after the backlash, because I'm pretty sure they would have kept it if nobody would have said nothing. Or if it wouldn't have gotten this, or if it wouldn't have got as much traction as it did. But my whole thing is nobody does fact checking.
And not just that, why change the guy's name in the first place? We all identify him as Walter. Like,
I mean, Walter works. Walter works. It works. And I'm just like, so the first thing we're just gonna go, okay, Walter is like,
elaborate, Ray. Ray says Gunther was a good Nazi, though.
Nigga, what?
I'm mad. We both was like, wait, yeah, elaborate, Ray. Because you had, bro.
Okay, so just to let you guys know who are listening to the audio version, it was a joke.
It was a joke.
Oh my God. Okay.
I really was like, Ray, Jesus. You gotta remember here on the East Coast, it's late right now, so we might not pick that up right away. And if I LOL or something up in the comments,
and if I do say so myself, I am. Whew. Anyway,
yeah.
But my whole thing is, what were you thinking, or you weren't thinking clearly?
Yeah,
and it's just like that's like somebody's. Any kind of racial like that's like somebody saying, "Oh, we're just gonna call him Adolf." That'd be good shit, pal. Like,
call him Adolf.
Like, we know who you mean.
Yeah.
You're not gonna portray a German character and name him Adolf. But then again, you're portraying this weird childlike anime shit with Ray. But that's another story for another day. Yeah. I just it's it's like the whole NXT as a whole is a good show.
Yeah.
And when they, I don't have a problem with changing the gimmicks.
Right.
The problem comes in when there is some blatant problematic situation surrounding it.
Right.
And Gunther? No, it didn't. Because the whole trademark was Gunther Stark. Like, you just took his name. Like, you took his name, you took it back from wherever ocean where he died at, pulled that bitch out, was like, we're gonna go ahead and take this Nazi and immortalize him in wrestling.
Crazy.
I mean, we got Hulk Hogan for that, and it's just like I'm just not understanding as to what the fuck were you on when you decided that I was gonna Coke, heroin, like you. I'm just like, crack. Oh my god, heavy drugs. I don't know what the fuck. It's like you do good things and then you do stupid things. It's like the good things come and then you just take all that good and you just shit on it with stupid.
Yeah. Okay. V, you can read this if you want.
So Ray asks, for those who are not watching the live stream or the replay, there's obviously a big racial problem in wrestling, but do you think there's a bigger racial problem in the WWE? I personally think there is, but I've seen other black fans feel like they can't do anything about it. Well, they bring back Hulk Hogan every time, so there's that. Vince McMahon has done very, very, very racially insensitive things. I mean, DX was in blackface, with the exception of China. Go figure. That Booker T storyline.
Yeah, people like you. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
There's a big racial problem in wrestling? Yes. Is it bigger in WWE? Because, and this is the only reason why I'm going to say yes. Because, one, WWE has been around longer. Yeah. Mainstream wise, WWE has been around longer. There's been so many egregious examples of racial insensitivity, not only just the black people, but the Latino people, the fucking Mexicals.
That was crazy.
Riding on lawnmowers?
Yeah.
Lawnmowers?
Yeah.
Yokozuna portraying him as Japanese when he's Samoan.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing.
It's not.
He literally looks like, oh, you look close enough. That's really what I think he did.
Yeah.
So there's more egregious examples of racial insensitivity in WWE. And that's the only reason why I'm saying yes. Now, granted, Tony Khan's dumbass. Besides him. But did WCW do something egregious? I can't remember.
Probably.
I didn't really watch
WCW. But I wasn't a heavy WCW fan, so
I wasn't a heavy WCW fan either. I watched from time to time, but it was never really something. So just based off of my personal experience with wrestling and wrestling in general, I'm gonna say yeah, because we've seen it too many times.
I don't know. I wouldn't say. I don't think it's bigger. I don't think it's less racial issues in WWE or racial inequalities and all of that. I don't think it's less or more than any other company. I think it's just more eyes on WWE, like V was just saying. So it looks worse because there's more eyes on the WWE and they have more product out there and they've been around for so long. But I think all across the board, we gotta go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead. My bad, Mike. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say we have to look at it this way. We are still the minority in wrestling. Like there's still way more white males and females, or, or women and men. I'm gonna try to be politically correct here. In wrestling than there is black men and women. And non-binary and everything else. I'm trying to cover everybody. So yeah, naturally you can say that WWE it's worse there, or it's a bigger issue there, but I don't know if it's a bigger issue there. I think across the board there's just more white people than there are black people in wrestling. And people, okay, for example, right? A lot of people get upset that there's like maybe 1 or 2 matches with black wrestlers on a card. Like when you look at WWE, well, not necessarily WWE now, but if you look at like AEW or any other company. But if we're being honest, if you look at how many white people are employed with the company versus how many black people are employed with the company, 9 out of 10 times, and I'm not saying every time, but like 9 out of 10 times, there's more white people employed there than black people. So naturally, there's going to be more white people on the show than there are black people. Now, maybe that's a deeper issue that we could probably address. That why are there more white people employed than black people? But I do think that when you're looking at these companies, yeah, naturally there's more white people than black people. So naturally it's going to be, more white faces than there are black faces. That sounded crazy.
I mean,
I think you know what I'm talking about. That sounded crazy. I didn't mean literally blackface.
I know. Well, if you ask Billy Gunn and Road Dogg, probably a lot of blackface. But
you didn't know? Yeah.
No, you guys better go to hell. No, but it's just like I think it's a big racial problem, regardless. Of the actual company. It's not just in wrestling, like not just the athletes. There are wrestling journalists that like racist tweets and unlike them. No DQ. Anyway, so hi.
All right.
Hi.
Yeah, I hear you.
My name is Gas, and I'm here with Max, and I'm also here with Bridge. But it's there's wrestling podcasters that are racist. It's hey, anyway, a whole bunch of other ones. I could go on. I can name names, but I won't.
Let's not. Let's not. Let's not.
But it's like it's I guess with being black in a wrestling sphere.
Yeah.
We know how shit goes at this point. We know how this shit goes at this point, and that's why I make it a point. I said what I said. Oh, I said what I said. I said what the fuck I said because got caught in 4K. I said what the fuck I said.
Jesus. Okay.
But it's like now when the racist shit pops up, all of those years of segregation, all of those years of Jim Crow, all of the after effects, they want to pretend like it doesn't happen. Oh, hey, there's probably somebody calling you.
Sorry. That must have been Tony.
Is he going to tell you that I'm not good enough to podcast? Anyway. But it's
we're live, pal.
I don't give a fuck. But it's a problem in general because this country has a race problem. Mm-hmm. And you see it politically. You see it in schools. Mm-hmm. It's an issue, and all of this trickles down into sports, into the arts.
It was definitely Bruce.
Telling me, definitely was Bruce. Wishing me the best in my future endeavors. You can't kick me off my show. Anyway, it's a lot of I can't even say it's nuanced because it's right there. It's right there. It honestly is right there. And we see it time and time again. If it's not in a wrestling journalist, If it's not in the wrestling personalities, we see it in business practices. We see it, with who gets to be on the show. It may not be outright racism, but there is something that alludes to that because it's systematic at this point. So it's just like, okay, this is why CM Punk, who I love, gets praised for talking cash shit about WWE, but Big Swole gets attacked.
Yeah.
It's a lot deeper than that. Will we get out of that? Child, I don't know. I don't know. I can't say that we will. I would love that. I mean, in a perfect world, no Kerry Hilson. We would love to do that.
Yeah.
But then again, when there is primarily black institutions or primarily people of color institutions, it's like, well, what about us? You have everything.
Yeah. Just like Mustafa
Ali. Yeah, and should we go in about the different stereotypes and calling him Middle Eastern when he's really South Asian?
I kind of want to finish NXT, but yeah, we
but regardless, the stupid shit, the Gunther Stark shit was stupid. NXT for me gets a 2 count, and that's all I got.
Yeah, I'm with you. 2 count for NXT. And Ray, feel free to comment if you saw NXT. Well, I have a bone to pick with Big Swole myself. I'd like to hear this. I actually want to hear what you have to say here. But I'm sure you're not in a position right now to. I would love to have you on right now if you was actually able to come on. But if you're not, it's fine. You can just leave it in the comment. Because we had a whole discussion about Big Swole actually at the beginning of the show with Joakim, Battle Club promoter, principal owner of Battle Club Pro. So I would love to hear what you have to say. NXT is a weekly tap out. Yeah, Ray, you might need to come on the show, man. Yeah, it seems like you got some good takes here. Well, some hot takes here, I should say.
They're pretty hot.
Yeah. Come on the show if you get a chance. Maybe if you can't do it tonight, then we have to hook up something here because
wow,
definitely some different perspectives here. I thought NXT. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I keep interrupting you. My bad.
No, it's fine. It's fine. No, I just think that NXT 2.0, maybe not. It may not be what we're used to with 2.0. I mean, with the regular NXT, the original NXT, I should say. But I think they're doing fine. I think they're doing a fine job. But.
Yeah, I don't have an issue, honestly. Yeah. Besides the creepy, character.
2 count for me as well. I guess hold on. Next week is cool. We're gonna have to figure that out because next week isn't it is we have a lot going on next week. Royal Rumble's next week, and we may have something extra for you guys, so we'll keep you posted. But I don't like to say too much until it's confirmed. So but
we're gonna work something out.
We're gonna work something out, right? We'll one way or another we'll try to get you on. Okay.
And lastly, AEW. Did you see AEW?
I saw AEW. Yes, I did. I watched that. Moxley came back.
Yes.
Yeah, Moxley came back. He looked healthy.
He
looked good out there. One person was being very
there we go.
And,
that's it. That's the one.
And John audibly told the guy to go fuck himself.
Yeah,
and then
sure did.
The building. I thought that was great.
I mean, because my whole thing
live television, by the way, wasn't that
live television? My man just came back from fighting alcohol addiction, which is a real thing. It really happens.
Yeah.
And you come and pay however much, because I'm pretty sure he was front row, $200-$300 for a front row ticket.
Easily.
Do you do that to just heckle the wrestlers? This man just came back from fighting for his life.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, addiction is a constant struggle. Addiction is a constant fight. So he overcame what he overcame and came back, when he wanted to, when he was healthy, when he felt like he was healthy enough, not for just for him, but for his wife and for his baby.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is the first thing you see is like, what was said? I'm trying to, what is it? Get that.
I didn't hear exactly what, something that drunk out of this ring or something like that. I don't remember exactly what.
Yeah, it had something to do with. Oh man, I wish I could remember what it was. But basically made fun of his alcoholism, and he said, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah, live television, clear as day. Okay,
because it was audible. You heard
what the guy said.
You heard what the guy said. You heard what the guy said.
You heard what everybody was saying because they was in such a small building this week. But I digress. Please continue.
But this is like how you pay $200-$300 to come heckle somebody.
If not more. If not more.
I don't know. I've never been to an AEW show yet, so it's
expensive.
It clearly, it doesn't seem like I want to go. But
you want to go. I'm gonna be honest with you. You want to go, bro. You want.
Okay.
I will say that. Like, you want to go to an AEW show, like.
It's just like, how are you gonna heckle the man that just came back? It's not like he did anything wrong. It's like Moxley decided that for his health to step away.
Yeah.
And leave it at that. And here you come.
Yeah.
This is why I say wrestling fans are the fucking worst.
That's why it's so tough sometimes. But Moxley basically told everybody that he's back and that he had to go and conquer these demons, and now he's back, and whoever wants to smoke, I'm coming for blood. And that's pretty much in hood terms is what he said. Yo, you want to smoke? All right, you better get it back in blood. Pretty much. And that was that. And then he went to the back. I thought it was good. Bully Ray said something. See, like
oh my God.
Okay, so Billy Ray said something. He said that he felt like Moxley owed the fans an apology. He should have gave the fans an apology.
Throw tomatoes.
Okay, all right. So I'm assuming you don't agree with Mr. Ray's
comment. Because my whole thing is, you paid to see me.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
If you don't like me, sure, you have that right to express that.
Yeah.
You have that right to express that, but at the same time, you're not gonna come at me crazy after I came back. And you're gonna call me a drunk? I'm not apologizing.
No. V, he wasn't talking about that. He was talking about like the fans in general. Like when he came back, that he should have. I just want to clarify that he was saying that he should have apologized for letting the fans down in a sense. Like that's really what, because he's like, they do pay to. This is what Billy was. I'm just saying what Bully was saying. He was saying that they do pay to see you. The boys and the girls count on you because you are a top guy, and the fans are counting on you to be there every week, to show up every week. You are a human, but Bully feels like he does owe the fans that. He owes them somewhat of an apology for letting the people down that he let down because of his demons that he was fighting. Now,
first of all, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No.
Because first of all, one, he does not owe an apology for that. That's number one. Let's just start there.
Okay.
Because one can make him feel bad, and like I said, addiction is a battle.
Yeah.
That could I'm just saying, just from what I know, that could relapse him because it'll make him feel bad, blah blah blah. But I don't think he owes the fans an apology.
I don't either.
I think that the fans, for the most part, the way that some of them act, would understand, that addiction is not just wrestlers. Addiction affects everyone.
Yes.
So who are you to say that he owes the fans the apology? Because when we found out that he was taking some time off to go to rehab and stuff like that, I saw nothing but support for Jon Moxley.
Yeah.
Nothing but support. Come back when you're ready. Take your time. You have a family to think about. He has He has a family to think about.
Yeah.
So why apologize for something that you're suffering from and you're not around? It's like he was not like he was advertised.
Right.
Is that like now? I would understand if he was I would understand owing the fans an apology if he was advertised for like 3 weeks straight and did not show up. I would understand. I would understand. I mean, granted, it would be because of his addiction. I would agree with his dumbass.
Yeah.
But I just don't. I don't. And
yeah, I don't agree either.
This goes back to. No, I'm gonna leave that one alone. Actually, I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Yeah.
I'm leaving it alone. But
Okay.
I don't agree with them. I think what he said was stupid.
Yeah. And Ray doesn't agree either. He said, "What does Moxley owe? An apology to the fans for? Still no, because how can he perform better if he's not healthy? Yeah. He didn't let me down. He didn't let me down either. I do want to continue here so that we can get through the show because it's been one of those. All right. So Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander versus Adam Cole and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. This was a really good match. Really, really good match. Britt takes a table bump. She goes through a table. Adam Cole still wins. Hits the boom on Orange Cassidy for the pin and the win. Quickly, what did you think about this?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was good. Thought it was a good opening to the show. A good opening match because Moxley opened the show. Hold that thought. Ray says, I think it was known or expected that it was supposed to be Moxley and Danielson in the finals. Yes. But we can always see that match later on. Yes. And, we've seen Moxley versus Bryan before, but it'll be different in AEW ring. Bryan obviously is taking some time right now because he just had some killer matches with everybody over the last few months. So Bryan's taking some time right now. But yeah, when Bryan comes back, Moxley's there. Moxley's wrestling this Sunday, New York City, Hammerstein Ballroom. He's going up against the 187 Homicide for GCW at the sold out Hammerstein Ballroom. Congratulations to Brett Lauderdale and all of those people over there. GCW, Matt Cardona will be wrestling that night also. I think Chelsea's on the card as well. Ruby Soho will be there. Allie is working, I believe. So they had, it said Allie. I'm not sure if it's Allie Catch or the Bunny. I'm assuming it's Allie Catch now that I think about it. Jeff Jarrett just hit Allie Catch in the head with a guitar last week, so I'm guessing that it's Jarrett versus Effie. Pretty big show. Just want to make sure I covered that before we continue too far. Like I said, I tried to get tickets. It's sold out. And I tried to even call people I know. They can't get me in.
So, no.
Yeah. So let's keep going here. Okay. CM Punk versus Shawn Spears. It was like a 10-second squash. Love this, by the way. I totally love this.
How many
love
seconds
anytime
did he
Shawn
lose?
Spears gets squashed. Huh?
10.
10. Yeah, 10. Yeah, I think they did a reverse neck breaker into the go to sleep in like 5 seconds. And that was the match. Love this. CM Punk gets the win. MJF cowers. We're gonna get MJF and CM Punk. We just got to see when it's gonna happen. I don't know if they can. Give me 1 second. Yeah, the intergender match was good to me too. It wasn't actually an intergender match. It was actually a mixed tag team match. Intergender match, they would have actually been able to
wrestle each other.
The men and the women would have been able to wrestle against each other. But here goes Tony again. Tony has said that they're not doing intergender matches in AEW. He has no plans on doing that right now. So that's why it's been mixed tag team matches where the men work the men and the women work the women. But they do experiment. Like they'll have maybe, a man bump a woman or a woman bump a man, but it's not going to be like a full like match. You know what I'm saying? The only time they did this, and this is the only intergender match in AEW history up until this point, it was Riho and Kenny Omega versus Penelope Ford and Kip Sabian on the Cruise of Jericho. which technically I don't know if it was even technically a sanctioned match, but they showed it on Dark. So technically it did come on AEW, but then almost was immediately taken down by Tony Khan. So that's the only one. I think you can still find it now, but it's very hard to find. Like if you type it in, you're not going to find it. I think you have to go actually on that Dark show and skip to that match. And here's another little tidbit. That is the only match in AEW history with no commentary. There's no commentary on the match. It's just the match. So just wanted to bring that up. What did you think about the CM Punk and MJF stuff?
I just found it funny that Sean is lost in 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah,
it's hilarious. I loved it.
Yeah, we're gonna get that. We're gonna get that match soon.
Yeah, I don't think they can hold it off into Revolution though. Revolution is like in March.
They might.
Are we gonna really wait that long? We'll see. Okay, let's keep going here. I'm trying to get through this quickly so we can get out of here. Not that we don't love you guys and want to stay on here, but we gotta go. Okay. Where we Christian got attacked backstage. Okay. House of Black. Christian got attacked backstage by let me see.
The Gun.
Yeah, the Gun Club, right?
Gun Club.
The Ass Boys, yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. We do have to talk about this.
Do we?
I know the anticipation is killing you, right?
Do we?
Cody cuts a promo.
Oh God.
Cody cuts a promo and he talks about CM Punk's he talks about CM Punk's pipe bomb. For the people that's listening, for the people that's listening, just watch the show. Just watch the show. Okay. Cody comes out there and he talks about the CM Punk pipe bomb, right? And he was like, and talks about it was a new revolution, right? He's like, no, he started the revolution, right? And he said that yes, Cody acknowledged the jeers. He actually used the word heel on Dynamite. He said, you guys keep asking or wondering why I don't turn heel. The reason I don't turn heel is because all of the people that supported me when I really needed it and everything like that. And he's like, I can't do that to them. Like that, like really babyface thing that he knew was going to get him booed. This Cody thing, and I know Vince is V's not gonna give him credit. Sorry, man. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. I don't know. Well, Vince McMahon is not gonna give me credit for this either. Okay, and he's not gonna give Cody credit for this. Right? That's who I was talking about. Who else was I talking about? But I know that V also may not give me or give Cody the props for this, but this is one of the best heel turns that I've seen in years. He is literally, by him refusing to turn heel each and every week, he is turning heel more and more and more. And even with this promo, this is the first promo that actually felt like he's being a heel. He's like, no, you talk about this forbidden door. I am the forbidden door. That was me. I did that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he actually showed some passion finally. And it looks like he is going in that direction, but it's a very slow burn and it's done by design. He knows the longer he takes to do this, the more boos he's going to continue to get. And when he actually does fully turn heel, I think it's going to be awesome, but we'll see what happens. He said that they're not in the business of changing people's names to like Gunter McGillibuddy. Is what he said on AEW. And he told Brody King, who was up next, that you got a lot of balls calling yourself Brody, in this company, or anywhere. But we'll see if you're able to live up to the hype. Ray said, I agree. Cody is begging himself up and aggravating the fans at the same time. But yeah, I got it. I got it. Yes, I agree. I think that Cody is doing this very intelligently. And he knows that if he just turns heel, it's like, all right, the people are just gonna start cheering for him again. The minute Cody turns heel, he's gonna get cheered. So he's like, all right, let me stay babyface and not really realize that I'm actually a heel, but I'm actually a heel because I want to remain babyface. You see, what I'm saying? Like it's like kind of this like mind thing, which is cool. So V, if you have nothing, it's okay. Like,
I have nothing.
Okay. So let's move on to the House of Black. I kind of figured you wasn't gonna give Cody any credit for it, but it's all right.
No.
House of Black. This was a squash match pretty much against the Raw City Mons. Just to get House of Black over. Cool. The Murder Hawk Monster, Lance Archer, pretty much destroys Frankie Kazarian.
Sure did.
Poor Frankie. Poor Kaz. He used to be the wave of the future back in the day. And yes, he actually meant bigging himself up is what Ray meant. I read it how it was on the screen, but I probably should have just said bigging. But anyway, all right, let's keep going. Serena D versus Sky Blue. A get over match for Serena. Like I like Sky Blue, but
I do too.
But I like Serena more.
I do.
Serena's.
No, she was good. Really.
Yeah. See if I'm missing anything here. All right, and then the main event. Ha! A King V special here. Darby Allin and Sting versus the Acclaimed.
King V special.
Yeah.
Well.
Yo. Listen.
Mm-hmm.
This was good though. It was a good tag match. They attacked Darby at the beginning. Big like injury angle here done. Like wrapped a chair around him and threw him.
Once I saw that, I was like, okay, he's gonna come out of nowhere. All right, here we go.
Ray says the Acclaimed should have went over. V?
I agree.
Really?
Yeah.
Why did my pop say the same thing? Why do you know what? We don't have time to really talk about it, but okay.
For me, it's like who I dislike less, but but no, I agree. I honestly think that the Acclaim should have been over.
I thought there was no way the Acclaim was going over Darby and Sting, but okay.
Sting didn't have to take the loss.
Darby's been losing a lot lately, so it's like, he's one of the top guys in the company. You got to kind of protect him somehow here.
I guess.
And that was AEW Dynamite. What'd you think of the show? Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. There was a Hangman Page run-in. He did save Kaz from a post-match beatdown.
Yes.
And Lance Archer and Page had to be separated. And it looks like we're getting Page and Archer, soon. So
sure. Overall, for me, AEW was also a 2 count.
Yeah. That was fine. It wasn't anything too, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't bad at all. It was fine. Decent show. And that's this week in wrestling pretty much, guys.
Yes, and just to allude what we were talking about earlier with Joe. Oh, the kids are all right. So is this young lady? We're gonna have her on the show soon.
Hold that thought.
Okay.
Ray says Darby has been TNT champion before. We need to get the straps on the Acclaim, even if it's for a few months. Near fall show for Ray. Okay. I don't know if the Acclaim are ready to be tag team champions. We just got a new tag team. We just got new tag team champions in Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. So I don't know if
I would say beginning of next year.
Okay. Yeah. They have time.
But
as you were saying,
going back to what I was saying, it was the kids are all right. Thank God.
Yeah.
Is this young lady by the name of Jaychelle Nicole, who is coming out with a project very, very soon called Wrestling with Whiteness. There is basically a wrestling documentary highlighting different Black wrestlers from different companies, highlighting their experiences and things of that nature. And her first story, which is coming up, is going to be the story of Shane Taylor Promotions. What a way to start it off.
STP.
And I'm very excited to see what she's going to be doing. We do want to have her on the show one day to, for her to talk about it some more and show what she has going in the future. I wanted to highlight this because I am helping her promote this as well. She did give me permission to do it on the show. Mm-hmm. And just to see how at 17 that she gets it. And she has a bright future. And I want to highlight her. And if you see me tweeting about Wrestling with Whiteness, you can use the hashtag Wrestling with Whiteness. You can look it up on Twitter just to see what she's going to be doing. I should have asked to put her Twitter name there. I'm not going to do it because I didn't ask. But if you see me retweet her, that's who she is. That young lady has a very bright future, and what a way to start it off. Just completely started off with STP, and like I said, we're gonna have her on the show soon. Just need to work that out, but I'm very excited to see what she's gonna be doing. I'm very excited for the other episodes. I'm not involved in that documentary. I am just helping her promote it because I believe in her vision, and I believe in being able to showcase her creativity, as well as make sure that she's covered in support. So I'm not personally involved in the documentary, but I do want to make sure she gets the views and the attention that it deserves.
Awesome. And anything we could do to help her, we'll do that. So that's great. I can't wait to meet her and have her on the show. Couple of show notes for next week. We will be covering, or we'll be predicting the Royal Rumble next week. So that'll be a very interesting show. Look for us next Tuesday. Don't hold us to it, but look for us next Tuesday. And I'm just saying that because I know the days sometimes are, it's all over the place. Sometimes we're on Wednesday, sometimes we're on Tuesday, sometimes we're on Thursday, we'll do a Sunday. Like, it's a lot that goes into this, okay? Yes. And we are trying to provide the best content, and in doing that, we have to work around other people's schedules. I'll put it there, right? So and Ray says, I want to put my name in a hat for the Royal Rumble. Okay. Are you gonna win the Royal Rumble? Are you gonna win the Royal Rumble? If Ray wins the Royal Rumble, I think that'll be the best thing that ever happens. I think he should.
Honestly, it'll be better than whatever shit they're probably gonna give us with the men's Royal Rumble. So, But we'll get to that. We'll get to that next week.
We'll get to that next week. As always, thank you, Joakim. Thank you to Battle Club Pro for allowing us to have Joakim on the show.
We love him on the show.
That's the first, right? For like a actual person in the biz, I guess you could say. Joakim's the first person on twice.
Yeah. So is the second time or third?
Oh shit! It might be the third. Either way, it's multiple times. But yes, Joe, thank you. Oh, you're right. It is the third. You're right. But yeah, so shout out to Joe. We are gonna be working with more people. We're gonna have more guests. We're gonna have a lot this year. 2022, we're gonna have a lot this year, and we really appreciate all of the support. Support the show.
Yep.
At Go for the Pin Show on Twitter.
Yep.
On Instagram, it's
Go for the Pin _show.
Yeah, there you go.
Because you were looking at me like, help.
See, we have that. It's just
I see you, you see me, we see each other.
Right.
But yes, on Instagram it is Go for the Pin _show. As for yours truly, it is KingP_the_ruler on Instagram and _WatchMyThrone on Twitter. And for Mike,
it's at DJ Mikey Q on Twitter, and on Instagram it's at Mike E. Whoa, Mike_EQ. It's been a long day. I need to get out of here.
Yeah.
Go to
No, seriously, guys, thank you so much for joining us this week. We'll see you guys next week with the room predictions. And
we might have Ray on as well. We're gonna try to have Ray on too. So
yep, we're gonna work that out.
We're definitely gonna work that out. See you guys next time.
Yep.